Welcome to the Pocket English Podcast. I am Sarah, and I am here with Mark. Today we are talking about a feeling that every English learner knows. It is that moment when someone asks you a simple question in English, and your mind just goes completely blank. You know the answer in your own language. You can see the images and the ideas in your head, but your mouth just will not move. It feels like your brain has frozen. You are stuck in a long, awkward silence while the other person waits for you to say something. Mark, have you ever felt that when you were learning a new language?
Oh, absolutely, Sarah. It is a terrible feeling. It's like you are standing on a stage and you have forgotten all your lines. You feel the pressure building up, you feel your face getting hot, and the longer the silence lasts, the harder it becomes to think of even one simple word. Most of the time, we feel like we have to answer immediately. We think that if we do not speak within 1 second, the other person will think we do not understand. But that pressure is actually what causes the brain to freeze. When you are stressed, your brain cannot find the vocabulary you have studied so hard to remember.
Exactly. And that is why today we are going to teach you a secret. The secret is that you do not actually have to answer immediately. You just have to make sure the conversation does not stop. We call this building a bridge. If you can build a 5-second bridge using simple English phrases, you give your brain the time it needs to find the right words. By the time you finish your bridge, your brain has found the vocabulary, and you can speak smoothly. Before we get into these specific phrases, if you want to grow your English one pocket-sized lesson at a time, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. It helps us keep creating these clear, slow lessons for you. Now, Mark, let us talk about why this brain freeze happens in the first place.
Well, for most A2 and B1 learners, the problem is mental translation. You hear a question in English, you translate it into your native language, you think of an answer in your native language, and then you try to translate that answer back into English. That is a lot of work for your brain to do in just 1 second. While your brain is busy doing all that translating, your mouth stays closed. That is the silence. We want to replace that silence with what we call stalling phrases or filler phrases. These are words that do not carry a lot of meaning, but they tell the listener that you are thinking and you are about to speak.
It's like a signal. It says, I heard you. I am coming. Just give me a moment. So let us start with our level 1 bridges. These are for very simple questions. For example, if someone asks you what you want to eat or what you did yesterday, the easiest phrase you can use is, let me see. Mark, how does that sound when you say it naturally?
Let me see. It's very soft. You can even stretch the words out a little bit. If you ask me, Mark, what did you do last weekend? I can say, let me see. I went to the park with my family. Did you notice how I used those 3 little words to buy myself about 2 seconds? In those 2 seconds, I remembered the word park and I remembered the past tense of go.
That is perfect. Another level 1 phrase is, let me think for a second. This one is very honest. It tells the person that you are literally taking a moment to think. It sounds very natural because native speakers use it all the time. We don't always have the answer ready. We use these phrases to show we are being thoughtful. Mark, let us try another one. What is your favorite movie?
Let me think for a second. I think my favorite movie is still The Lion King. I love the music. Again, it felt very natural. I didn't just stand there looking at you silently. I gave you a signal that I was thinking. If you are listening at home, try saying that out loud right now. Let me see. Let me think for a second. Feel how your mouth moves with those words. They are very easy to say, and they give you so much power in a conversation.
Now, let us move to level 2 bridges. These are slightly longer, and they are great for when someone asks for your opinion or asks a more interesting question. The most classic one is, that's a good question. You can use this for almost anything. It's like a compliment to the other person. While they are feeling happy that they asked a good question, you are busy searching for your verbs and nouns.
I love that one because it is so versatile. You can even add an extra word to make it longer. You can say, that's a really good question, or that's a very interesting question. Sarah, ask me something about my job.
Okay, Mark, what is the most difficult part of your job?
That is a very interesting question. I think the most difficult part is managing my time because I have so many different projects. Do you see how much time that gave me? It was about 4 seconds of speaking before I even had to start my real answer. This is how you avoid the pause. You are speaking the whole time, but you are not using any difficult grammar yet. You are just using your pre-built bridge. And for the listener, it feels like a very smooth interaction. They do not feel like they are waiting for you. They feel like you are engaging with them. Another level 2 phrase is, I was just thinking about that. This is great for topics like the weather or work or current events. It makes it sound like you are already interested in the topic. Mark, what do you think about the new coffee shop downtown? I was just thinking about that actually. It is a bit expensive, but the coffee is excellent. That phrase, I was just thinking about that, is like a magic key. It opens the door to the conversation and gives you all the momentum you need. It is much better than saying, coffee is good. It sounds more professional and more confident. Now we have level 3 bridges. These are for when you are really stuck. Maybe the question is very hard, or you completely forgot the word you wanted to use. In this case, you can use a phrase that explains your process. You can say, I am trying to think of the word in English, or how can I put this? These phrases are wonderful because they are very human. That is a great point, Sarah. Being honest about your English is a sign of confidence, not weakness. If you say, how can I put this? It shows that you have a complex idea and you are trying to find the best way to explain it. It makes you sound like a sophisticated speaker who cares about accuracy. Let us try an example. Mark, how do you feel about the future of technology? Oh, that is a big one. How can I put this? I think technology is helpful, but sometimes it makes us feel a bit lonely. I used the phrase to give myself a long time to think of the word lonely. It worked perfectly. If you are enjoying these examples, please like this video. It tells us that this specific topic is helping you, and we will make more videos about conversation skills just like this one. Now that we have the phrases, we need to talk about the music of the language. This is very important for A2 and B1 learners. If you say these phrases like a robot, they will not work. If you say, let me think for a second, it sounds like you are reading from a textbook. It does not sound like a pause for thinking. It sounds like another part of your struggle. You are right, Mark. The melody of these phrases is what makes them work. When a native speaker is thinking, their voice usually goes up a little bit at the end of the phrase. It stays open. We call this a rising intonation. It signals that the sentence is not finished yet. Listen to the difference. Let me see. That sounds like I am finished. But if I say, let me see, it sounds like there is more coming. I hear it. It sounds like a bridge that is still being built. Let us practice that together. I will say the phrase with the wrong flat intonation first, and then Sarah, you say it with the correct thinking intonation. Let me think for a second. Let me think for a second. Do you hear how my voice stays a little bit higher at the end? It invites Mark to keep listening. Let us try the other one. That is a good question. That is a good question. That sounded very flat and a bit bored. Now you try it, Sarah. That is a good question. It sounds warm and thoughtful. This is what we mean by natural, simple English. It is not just the words you choose. It is the way you use your voice to communicate your feelings. When you use a rising intonation on a filler phrase, you are telling the other person, stay with me, I'm just getting ready. So now we have a routine for you to try. We want you to practice these phrases so they become automatic. You should not have to think about your thinking phrases. They should just come out of your mouth like a reflex. We have a simple rule called the 3-2-1 rule. 3 phrases, 2 seconds of breath, and 1 simple answer. I love that. Let us explain it. First, you choose 3 phrases that you like the most. Maybe you choose, let me see, that is a good question, and how can I put this? Those are your 3 tools. You should memorize them until you can say them in your sleep. Then, whenever someone asks you a question, you use one of those phrases immediately. After the phrase, you take 2 seconds of breath. This is your quiet time to find your real answer. And finally, you give 1 simple answer. Do not try to make a long, complex paragraph. Just 1 clear sentence. Let us demonstrate the 3-2-1 rule right now. Sarah, ask me about my morning routine. Okay, Mark, what do you usually do as soon as you wake up? Let me see. I usually drink a large glass of water and then I go for a short walk. That was the rule in action. I used my phrase, I took a tiny breath to find the word walk, and then I gave a simple answer. It felt easy and it sounded very natural. If I had tried to start immediately, I might have said, water and walk. The filler phrase changed everything. It really does. It gave you a sense of control. You are the boss of the conversation. Now we want to do a little practice with you. I am going to ask you 3 questions. I want you to use a different filler phrase for each one.
Do not worry about being perfect. Just focus on starting the phrase as soon as I finish the question. Are you ready? Question number 1. What is the best thing about your hometown? I will give you a moment to try it at home. Remember to use a phrase like, that is a good question. Now, question number 2. What kind of music do you like to listen to when you are relaxing? This is a great time to use let me see or let me think for a second. And finally, question number 3. If you could travel anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would you go? For a big question like that, you can use, oh, that is an interesting one, let me think. How did that feel? If you felt a bit nervous, that is okay. The more you do this, the more your brain will realize that silence is not the enemy. You have the tools to fill the gap. This is a great exercise to do every day. You can even do it in the shower or while you are driving. Ask yourself a question and practice using those bridges. The goal is to make the bridge so strong that you can walk across it without looking down. When you stop worrying about the pauses, your confidence will grow. And when your confidence grows, you will actually find that you need the bridges less and less because your brain will stop freezing. It is a beautiful cycle. You use the phrases to get confident, and the confidence makes you speak better. To wrap up today, we want to give you one specific challenge. For the next 24 hours, every time you speak, even in your own language, try to notice where you pause. Then, in your head, think about which English bridge you would use in that spot. If you want to take it a step further, record yourself on your phone for 1 minute talking about your favorite hobby. Listen back and count the silences. Then record it again, but this time use the 3-2-1 rule. You will be amazed at how much more professional and fluent you sound. It really is a simple fix that makes a massive difference. Remember, fluency is not about being perfect. It's about keeping the conversation going and feeling comfortable while you do it. You have the phrases, you have the intonation, and you have the routine. Now you just need to put them in your pocket and use them whenever you have a few minutes to spare. Thank you so much for joining us on the Pocket English Podcast today. We hope you feel a little bit more prepared for your next conversation. We believe in you. Just take it one pocket-sized step at a time. Go out there, use your bridges, and let your English grow. If you found this helpful, please share this lesson with a friend who is also learning English. We will see you in the next episode for more simple, natural English practice. Keep practicing, stay curious, and most importantly, relax. Your English is growing every single day. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.